Hello, my dear friends. Today, misbehaving, sex, drug, and rock and roll. No worries, I'm joking. It will be next. Today, Misbehaving, the Making of Behavioral Economics by Richard Taylor. A gripping novelistic intellectual history from the man behind nudge economics. Are you ready for that? We'll make a decision every day, and sometimes we made mistakes. In his new book, Taylor tells the gripping story of his own career in economics and the development of the new behaviorally influenced branch. As a natural writer with an eye for the telling an anecdote or a joke, Taylor has produced and novelized intellectual history replayed with heroes and villains, triumphs and disasters, conflicts and comradeship. For much of the 20th century, economics was dominated by the notion that people behave in a rational manner that is consistent with classical economic theory. It was a bullshit. Whether the decisions were about what to purchase, how much to save for retirement, or maintaining a healthy weight, people were assumed to behave like Star Trek's Mr. Spock in a logical and rational manner. The problem with this approach is that human beings don't always behave as an economic theory would suggest. People are driven by emotion as well as by the inability to solve complicated problems, and those cannot always behave in a perfectly rational manner. In order to deal with some of these inconsciences, some economists and other social scientists started to question the standard economic model. Professor Richard Taylor is a bit lazy, prone to procrastination, and like his boss, his observations, not mine. He's also the president of the American Economic Association, a role held in the past by such luminaries as Milton Friedman, J.K. Galbraith, Gary Becker, and Amartya Sen. Misbehaving is divided into 8 sections that take us chronologically through Taylor's academic career, starting at the University of Rochester as a graduate student with a burning curiosity about how people behave in the real world. Along the way, we are treated to Taylor's recollections of how he and other luminaries in the field, such as Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, established behavioral economics, recounted with his self-deprecating humor and deft storytelling. As with any analysis that goes against conventional wisdom, these early researchers encountered numerous critics. One common criticism attributed to Milton Friedman was the as-if argument. Using an example from billiards or the pool hall, if you like American English, Friedman argued that expert billiards or pool players may not understand all the geometric calculations necessary to play well, but they behave as if they were able to do the calculations. Similarly, managers might not understand the concept of maximizing profits by equating marginal cost to marginal revenue, but they behave as if they did. That a person with such everyday flaws has scaled the unforgiving heights of the economics establishment is striking in itself. Even more so is the fact that he has done so by turning those weaknesses into the very subject of a new branch of economic science. Taylor has spent a career seeking to understand individuals as they really are, chock full of weaknesses, irrationalities, and idiocracies. He labels these creatures humans rather than as econ, working calculators, rationally optimizing their utility. What do you think about yourself? Are you just a human? Taylor is a brilliant scholar, endlessly curious, empirically inclined, and public spirited. But he is also the perfect spokesman for an approach that has come to be known as behavioral economics. He doesn't come across as someone lecturing others about their shortcomings, because they feel like his shortcomings too. Taylor recounts a dispute and an academic conference with the orthodox economist Robert Barrow. And Taylor, remember, you know, I said that the difference between our models was that he assumed that the agents in his model were as smart as he was, and I assumed they were as dumb as I am. Barrow agreed with Taylor. It's of course very clever of Taylor to share this story. Okay, right now you can ask what we should do. The central promise of behavioral economics, as applied to policy, is to use people's weaknesses to help them achieve their goals. For example, retirement. We want to save more for retirement, but we are myopic and suffer from inertia. So, most British employees are now being automatically enrolled into their occupation pensions funds, a direct lift from a nudge. Next, taxes on time. Smaller reforms have resulted to, including a change in the wording of the letters sent to those who failed to pay their taxes on time. After testing different phrasing, Cameron's nudgers found that you are currently in the small minority of people who have not paid their taxes on time who worked best, increasing subsequent payments by more than 5 percentage points. As his story unfolds, a ragtag band of economists, social scientists, and psychologists find each other's work and begin, bit by bit, to dismantle some of the basic tenets of economic theory, drawing on studies of how people behave in real life, buying and selling wine, competition in game shows, drafting NFL players, saving for old age. The reports showed that people consistently and predictably failed to act as the economics textbook said they should. The new field that emerged from this work, which has come to be known as behavioral economics, began as a small band of renegade economists who, along with researchers in psychology, searched for better ways to understand economic decision making. Today, the field has gained much wider acceptance, as evidenced by the number of leading journals that publish articles on behavioral economics, as well as the number of universities that offer courses and degrees in behavioral economics. Taylor concludes the book with a section devoted to how these behavioral concepts can be used to nudge individuals into behaving optimally. Understanding human behavior can enable anyone who deals with people to find a better way of getting them to behave optimally. For example, although most people understand the need to save for retirement, surveys have shown that people tend to lack the discipline to begin a savings plan at work or to increase the amount they save as their wages increase. One solution to the problem is to change the way employees participated in a plan from opt-in to opt-out. Research has shown that when people must opt in to participate in a plan, many choose not to sign up. But when they are given the choice of opting out, more people tend to contribute. Similarly, a default option that increases the amount contributed as the employee's salary increases leads to higher contribution rates. The lessons of misbehaving are clear. Human beings, no matter how well trained in models of rational choice, make mistakes that are based on either emotion or a misunderstanding of the facts. Taylor shows how to avoid such errors and exploit the errors of others. He has a true gift for intra-training discussions of academic research with stories of how people actually behave. This book is an excellent read of the shortcomings of classical economic and finance theory. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. And I hope you will find time to read this interesting topic, this interesting book, and you will make a better choice in your future. Thank you so much. Take care and stay safe.